Anishah ShaashvataSthirah Bhushayo Bhushano Bhutir Vishokah Shokanaashanah.
Yes, correct.
Shokanaashanah. Very good. Thank you. Very nice. So Udeernah, what does Udeernah means? He is basically superior to everybody. Or you can also say that because he is very, very high, he always will elevate his devotees to his level. How? Let us say you go and talk to a person who is very, let us say you want to learn chemistry. You go and talk to a person who is PhD in chemistry. The process of osmosis, just by talking to a person who is a PhD, our level in chemistry will go up. Right? Similarly, if you are more interested about medical things, you go and daily talk to a doctor, with or without fees, that is up to you. But our knowledge will increase, our level will increase. Similarly, when we think about Bhagwan, etc., our level will also go up. Will it ever come to a level of Bhagwan? No. But we will also elevates his devotees to his level. He will always try. And because he is doing that, he is superior to all beings. So, Udeernah Aya Namaha. So, Bhattar has a slightly different meaning. Bhattar says that it is like Udeernah, he interprets it as Ullasitaha, which means shining, very, very brightly shining, right? So, because Bhattar is a Vishishta Advaita form, he says that Bhagavan is having a pleasing and splendid form that is clearly visible to the eyes of the devotee. So, he does not say that he is superior, etc., his qualities. He says that Bhagavan is having a form which is clearly visible to the eyes of the devotee, and that is a very pleasing and splendid form. So you go, you always feel like sitting and staring that. Many people have gone. I have gone to this temple. I was looking at the decoration today. I was not feeling like leaving the temple. I wanted to stay there, but I had to come back home because I have so much work, etc., etc. That people will say. So Shankara also says the same. Sarva bhutebhya samudrikritvat Udeernah. That is, he is superior to all beings. So basically, sort of thing. SarvatashChakshuh. SarvatashChakshuh. That is, he is visible to the eyes of all. Do you think a tortoise cannot see Bhagavan? They can see Bhagavan. Can we not see Bhagavan? We can also see Bhagavan. Can a crocodile cannot see Bhagavan? They can also see Bhagavan. Can a fish see not? So he is visible to everyone. The reverse way is also true. That is, he is also having eyes everywhere and he is seeing. That is where we looked at the Purusha Suktam, where we said, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhumyam Vishwato Vrata. That is Sahasrakshas. He is having 1,000 hands, he is having 1,000 legs, he is having 1,000 eyes. That is to say that not literally he is having 1,000 eyes. He is omnipresent, he is present everywhere. Right? So that is what SarvatashChakshuh Namaha. Right? So when he took his incarnation as Rama Krishna, do you think he was visible to everyone? Yes, he was visible to everyone. Now, today also you go to a temple, you will have a idol of Rama and Krishna. Do you not see them? Yeah, you can see them. So that is darshanam will bring peace to the mind of people who are having bhakti. That is what it is. Okay, Anishah. Anishah is a very common name. You see a lot of people with names like Anishah. He who is not the master, that is one, and he who has no one above him as a master. So that is two interpretations of Anishah, Anishas. So, Om Anishaya Namaha. So Anishaya Namaha. So why Anishah? Bhattar says that we think of Bhagavan as a ruler, but when we submit ourselves to Bhagavan, Bhagavan also submits ourselves to us. Every time he is with us, he will rule our thoughts. We will not do any wrong things. We will be in the path of righteousness. We will be in the good path, Sadgati, right? So also Ramanujacharya, that is because of Dvaita, he also says that Bhagavan, if you have a sort, for example, you are having a murti in your house, daily you have to do Abhisheka, daily you have to do Nevedyam, daily you have to dress him up, etc., etc. Now you cannot one day say, "Ki boss, today I will not feeling well. I will not feed Bhagwan. I will not do Nevedya. I will not do Snanam, etc., etc." That is not possible, right? That is what our Ramanujan says. So he also acts a lot. For example, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, when he was acting as a child, he did a big show when he was being after getting beaten up, after stealing butter, etc., he also did a lot of acting, etc., etc. Right? So that is what it is. So I think we have covered half of it, and we will take the rest next week. Any questions so far?
Sai Ram, anybody have any questions? Okay,
Brother,
almost
Sai
Sai
Ram.
Ram.
I have one question. You said literally, like when we say Bhagwan has 1,000 eyes, 1,000 hands. So that's not literal. Like we're just speaking about his omnipresence and omnipotence, and that's very nice to know.
Yes, yes. So actually, if you look at Bhasha of, so thing is this, right? All these things, what we typically try to do is we will try to literally translate word to word. Okay. The way Vedas are written is, Vedas are very cryptic. So, for example, it cannot be read. That is why what happens is, the way it works is, there are something called Bhashyas, right? So there is a Ramanujacharya Bhashya, there is a Bhattar's Bhashya, there is a Bhagavad or Adi Shankaracharya, Bhagavad Pada's Bhashya, right? So they will have written Bhashyas. So Bhashyas are a translation of what is the meaning, right? So our Adi Shankara, Bhagavad Pada Adi Shankara's translation is from a Advaita perspective. He follows the Advaita perspective. The Ramanujacharya is a Dvaita perspective. So that is why he says Bhagwan is like, he comes to your house, you have to feed him, etc. You have to change his clothes, right? You have to, the Murti has to be there. It's a living person, right? Our Bhattara is more of Vishishta Advaita, that is. Now, even these bhashyas are very difficult for us to understand. Since these bhashyas are very difficult to understand, so people have written something called tikas. Tika is like a saral summary. It's like an easy summary for us to read, right? For example, my level is first I start with the tika, right? Because I cannot go and read. I mean, I can read Sanskrit, I can understand it, but I don't remember, I don't know the context of the thing. So what we first look at tikas, and there is a tika on tika. That is, so there is a multiple level of, because the difficulty level is so high, and Vedas are not to be sort of interpreted literally, right? Sahasrakshas, that is Sahasra. No, this is not 1,000. Can you imagine a person with 1,000 eyes, 1,000 heads, and only one body, and 1,000 hands and 1,000 legs? It's a center of balance will be way off, right? You can't even imagine. So, so the problem happens when people, without knowing the context, right? So there they say, right? In there's a very sort of in Purusha Suktam, right? They say that Brahmins came from the mouth, the Shudras came from the feet, etc., etc., and that is sort of quoted out of context. Why it is quoted out of context is people do not know the deep meaning. They will do a literal translation, right? They will say, boss, how can they say like this? So if you look at even our, can you tell one sort of a book about Hinduism which you have very controversial, you have heard a lot of controversies about?
I think no, we don't have that kind of.
No, Manusmriti is there. You talk about Manusmriti, people will, their BP will go up. They will, start, their BP will go up. They will start foaming through the nose, etc., etc. That is, Manusmriti is the laws of Manu. Actually, if you look at it, there is, except for maybe one or two verbs or shlokas, that is also having the same problem. It is not understood or translated correctly.
Yeah. Correct.
So, but the thing is, you say that you go to India and you say, Ki, boss, I want to teach Manusmriti. Next day, people will be on the street saying that it is that and it is this, and we are going back 200 years and all. But if you follow what does Vedas say? That is, you have to be one with God. Even for going into a river, right? It's like a Varuna. Before going into a river, you have to first clean your feet, etc., and then go. There is a code of conduct for that. So if you look at it, but it is not understood very correctly, and because it is not understood very correctly, there are a lot of misinterpretations, and it does not take anyone to copy paste something what they write like, and they put it in WhatsApp, and it goes as WhatsApp forward,
Yeah.
and nobody understands what is the right meaning.